Job one here, Charles. Just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath, first do no harm, and right now they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen.
From the 27, Garoppolo. Open man, here's Foster. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 7 yards there and a first down. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. 13-0 is the score after 1 on EA Sports. Charger football to start quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Wait. Hey, alert. Two.
A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Got an open man, it's Foster. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
21. 46-yard line. Check 55 to Mike. 5.
Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. Open man is Hill. He's got it. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Garoppolo looks to throw. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. On play action, now Garoppolo. This short throw caught by Goddard. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And they've got another 1st and 10 as the penalty keeps this drive moving.
Strong right. We got 4. No. Off. Ted. Mike 55, Mike 55.
They'll run to Mack. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. Out of the gun, here's a give to Mack. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll run here with Mack. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and goal. At the 7-yard line.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal.
Set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone. Check 52. 21. Here we go.
65.
Now they'll throw with Garoppolo. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up fourth down. And McManus able to put it through. And they will indeed get on the board here, but still trailing. It's now 13-3. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
You sound like you're going negative on me.
I was.
Sounds like you're thinking the 3's just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So.
Well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Now Rodgers running the option right. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there. So from 2nd and 13, they're back to a more manageable 3rd and 8. To throw, it's Rodgers. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like.
Here we go.
The Charger drive about to get going. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better.
And that's going to be intercepted. The all-pro corner, Patrick Peterson. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
You're trailing. You're trying to get points late in the half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with.
319. Zoom. Go to 50. Hey, you block over here. Hey, wahoo. 57 to Mike. 57.
On first down, Rodgers. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. Max Williams there to make the grab. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Extra point up and good by Bullock. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
The Charger drive about to get going. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number one. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. Garoppolo now. It's Hill, complete. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Mike, 55. Check, 55, Mike.
Mike, sweetheart. Hey, Alpha. Mike 55. 21. Here we go.
Mike,
Throwing is Garoppolo on third down. This is caught. It's Cooks. Chargers going to use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Garoppolo. Flushed out right. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
I got it.
They don't want to repeat a first down. They'll keep it on the ground. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we are at halftime here in the opener of the 2019 regular season, as we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports halftime report. Coach? We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Here we go.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Box it.
Johnson. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
I got it. Mike's 57's Mike. Here we go.
On second down, Johnson. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. So no problems moving the ball in the first half, but they'll likely come up empty here on drive one of quarter three.
And it was so important for the defense to get that stop because what we witnessed in the first half was them getting run over. And they needed the confidence, and they needed to get off the field so they felt good going forward in this game.
And not what he was hoping for there as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter three, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. The throw over the middle, taken in, and able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 15 yards on that one and a Charger first down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
First and 10 at the 48-yard line.
They'll run here with Mack. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Charger first down.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
Play action, Garoppolo. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Garoppolo going to try and throw on third. And he's going to have the connection to Foster. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line.
That's another Chargers first down. First and 10 at the 28-yard line.
Here we go. Wait, 80!
They'll run it. It's Mack. Oh, and Mack has the ball stripped, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I can hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
7 yards there and a first down. The last time we saw Jason Witten on a football field instead of the broadcasting booth was, of course, 2 years ago, 2017. He had 63 catches, 560 yards, 5 touchdowns. It was his 11th Pro Bowl that season for a man who came into the league back in 2003. Garoppolo toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. They'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Here we go. Wait, 80! 55.
From the gun on third, Garoppolo looks to throw, fires right side, and that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. The kick by McManus is good. And that will close the gap down to 14. So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing, all right? They didn't play particularly well in the first half, but they definitely need him to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone. I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now Rodgers. He's got it to Williams. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Rodgers. He hits Jermaine Kearse. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Good yardage there for the Colts, 18 and a 1st down.
That's right, baby. They don't want it. Hey, take 26.
Rodgers now on 1st down. Looking downfield for Godwin. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
But it's not been the best game for him, but he definitely tried to get by with a little help from his friend there, trying to create a big play.
Couldn't do it, fell incomplete, but you're right, hasn't been a banner game here in the second half, just trying to get going.
Big thing is trying to keep confidence up and continue to fight.
And intercepted, maybe the turning point they need. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 34-yard line.
Here we go.
The Charger drive about to get going. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
Toe
that.
bashed it.
Super toe.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Now Garoppolo. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, and especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 48, and his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were...
And this is caught at the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. It's a gain of 34. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles. It certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long. And I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them. And now it's been a...
And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Brandon Graham picks up his second sack of the afternoon. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Throwing now is Rodgers. It's Williams on the catch. Williams loses the football. And this is recovered by the Chargers. A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll run it with Johnson. And he takes it in for a Colts score. Kerryon Johnson, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Colts use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. No problem there on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Well, some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. The Charger drive about to get going. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Now a throw over the middle, and he's got it to start the drive. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, L.A. Tyreek Hill, 61 yards. And the Chargers are able to close the gap just a bit.
You've got to understand situational football because they're playing with the lead here late in the ball game. So the back defender has got to be as deep as the deepest receiver. Keep everything in front of you, rally up and make the play.
Yeah, you would think they had the 3-score lead. Now it's down to 2, but 3-score lead here late. But they wouldn't give up a big pass play like that, but they did. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. Here's Johnson. They'll get only a couple down to the 44. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now they'll throw with Rodgers. There goes a deep ball. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jermaine Kearse, 35 yards. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Turning into a really good performance on the road. Week 1, you're just hoping for that first win. It's tough to do it away from home, though, but they're looking strong.
It certainly is. Any road win in the NFL is a great road win. I mean, it just does not matter whether it's supposed to be tough or not. In this particular situation, how great will they feel leaving with a win on the road against a tough opponent?
A little work still to do, though. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here we go.
The Charger drive about to get going, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown,
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Trumaine Johnson. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a 4th quarter comeback.
with emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And that'll increase their lead to 28.
Makes the score Colts 41, Chargers 13.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
At their own 17-yard line.
Here we go, here we go.
The Charger drive about to get going. And fresh off the pick six. They've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's going to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Yeah. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Garoppolo. Dancing, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Robert Kimdichie. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
Come on, fellas.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. They were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10.
Rush in, rush in, rush in. Switch, switch, switch.
Over.
Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
Now it's Brown. That's a gain of 6 on the 1st down run.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd down.
So this one winds up an Indianapolis victory. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, it's preseason. This is week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
Real football.
Not preseason football where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play and maybe